welcome to
The Teen Scene.
I'm Cooper Carevo, and this is
Heather Detweiler. Today we are raising money
for specially equipped. Hello, and welcome to
The Teen Scene.
I'm Cooper Carevo, and this is
Heather Detweiler.
Hello, I'm Cooper, and this is welcome to the Teen Scene.
Hi, I'm Heather, and our guest today is Winnie Ehlinger.
So, Miss Winnie, could you tell us why you're here today?
We are in need of an accessible van. Ignatius is 9 years old and wheelchair bound. Our current van is not accessible, and my sister started a fund, the Ignatius Ehlinger Fund, to help us raise money for an accessible van to transport Ignatius.
So we understand that a dealership is involved with this. What will the van need?
Well, currently, every time we put Ignatius in and out of the car, I have to transfer him from his wheelchair into a huge monster car seat and then lift his wheelchair into the back of the van. And then to take him out, the reverse, take the wheelchair out, take him out of the car seat and back into the wheelchair. An accessible van would allow us to just transfer him and the wheelchair right into the van, lock it down, and we're good to go, and do the reverse when we get to our destination.
So what is he diagnosed with?
Ignatius has cerebellar agenesis, which means he has no cerebellum, and that's the part in the back of the brain that controls fine motor, balance, and speech.
How old is Ignatius, and does he go to school?
Ignatius is 9 years old, and he is currently homeschooled, although he does receive vision and speech services from the local public school.
So, how is day-to-day life with Ignatius? Getting through the average tasks every day?
Well, Ignatius needs constant one-on-one prompting to get all of his work done, but he's very happy. He loves to play. He loves to go places, which is why an accessible van would be very helpful. He plays Challengers baseball. He plays Special Olympics. We're involved with Eddie's Club and the Starlight Foundation. We go to events with them. And he just likes to go, go, go.
So Ignatius, I hear you went to Disney. How was that?
We were chosen by Grin Kids 3 years ago for an all-expense-paid trip to Disney World, and it was amazing. The kids really enjoyed it. Grin Kids is a wonderful organization, a radio program that they take a bunch of families every year to Disney World.
Ignatius, what do you like to do for fun?
I like to play.
What do you like to play?
The game.
Okay.
Lots of games.
On TV.
Yes, you're on TV.
Do you have any game in particular you really like?
What's your favorite game? You being shy? What's your favorite game?
Robot.
Robots. Likes to play robots.
Okay, we're having a great day at the Teen Scene Telethon today, and we're going to take a short break and be right back. So, Miss Winnie, do you have any final thoughts?
I would like to especially thank my sister, Jo Maria Bruzzo, for starting the fund for us, and everyone who has sent us donations for the Ignatius Ehlinger Fund so far, and everyone who has been involved in the fundraising. We're very thankful and grateful for everyone's help.
Tell us, Miss Winnie, what other fundraisers are you doing to raise money, and how can people get involved?
We just had a spaghetti dinner in Front Royal, Virginia, hosted by Melanie Evans, who is a mom with 4 children with cerebral palsy, 3 in wheelchairs, and a silent auction with the spaghetti dinner, and that was a big success. I'm very thankful for Melanie for doing that. We're currently having a cookbook sale. We're selling the Ignatius Ehlinger Fund cookbook.
And we would like to thank North's Ford Van Dealership for helping out with the van.
Thank you for joining us on our show today, Miss Winnie.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a short break and be right back.
to Teen Scene.
Joining us now is Joan Abruzzo.
Welcome, Joan.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us why you're here?
Well, I'm here trying to promote a cookbook that I put together with my family and a lot of friends. And it's called Heavenly Delights, and it's part of the Ignatius Ehlinger Fund, and it's to help support Ignatius's need for a new handicap van.
So tell us what's in the cookbook.
Well, there's lots of good recipes. There's a banana pound cake. There's one of my favorites is a paleo pumpkin pancakes, and I absolutely love that. My family love that recipe. Actually, one of my recipes.
Is it all your recipes?
No, it's not. It's got recipes from the Ehlingers. It's got recipes from my daughter. It's got recipes from the Ehlingers' grandparents, the kids' grandparents. It's got recipes from Lord Bananas. It's got recipes from a DJ on a radio station in Virginia, Chris Mitchell. It's got lots of good recipes. And if anybody wants to contribute to recipes, we can always put another cookbook together. And you can either email me at ignatiusehlingerfund@gmail.com, or you can call me at 443-636-5374.
So I understand you started this whole fundraising project. How did you get started?
Well, I know my sister is always busy doing for everybody else and not for herself, and I know that her van, by seeing it and being around her, is falling apart. The doors are having problems with doors and things like that. And I know lifting that wheelchair in and out of the van is really heavy, let alone lifting Ignatius in and out of the van. So I thought, you know what, we need to start some kind of fund because they're going to need a new van at some point. And it's going to be easier for them not to have to lift him in and out of the wheelchair into the van and lift the wheelchair into the car, if they could just wheel him into it. So I decided last November, December, to start something, and I did a couple small fundraisers then. And I've gotten a lot of donations since then, mostly in January, February, March. And then I decided that I'd do the cookbook as another fundraiser. And then Winnie's friend decided to do a spaghetti dinner. So we've been just doing little things to try to build it up as quickly as we can with the little means that we've had. So I am so glad Teen Scene is taking over and doing this fundraiser because it's going to help us big time, I think.
So don't forget to call the number on the screen.
I understand that there were a whole lot of other projects that you helped with. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we had a Chick-fil-A fundraiser back in December. We had a Pilot fundraiser, I think in January or February. I might do Pilot again. I've been approached about doing that and a different kind of fundraiser with them. And we've done a lot of collecting through church and things like that. Well, Knights of Columbus has contributed, our church, St. Augustine's, my church, St. Augustine's, has contributed. But we want to thank everybody who has contributed and has given us a donation. And again, I want to thank Teen Scene for taking on this telethon and helping us out here. It's a great asset to have the Teen Scene and to have them helping us and helping other people out also.
We're so honored to be helping out with this.
It's really a very nice thing, and I enjoyed. It's been very fun.
It's a great
to do.
cause.
I'm so glad to be a part of it.
And we're really glad that we could do this for you. If you would like to donate, please call the number on the bottom of the screen.
We'll be right back. How much more expensive is a wheelchair accessible van than a regular van?
Well, a wheelchair van is practically double what a regular van would cost. We are looking to raise about $65,000, and that would cover taxes. A normal person, can't just put out that much money up front, number one. Number two is, with this family, they have so much going on right now between Winnie's husband being out of work and everything, that they can't afford to be putting that much money out a month even to make a payment. So right now that's what we're trying to raise the whole thing so they don't have to worry about all that, and that they can keep doing what Ignatius likes to do. He isn't big in challenges baseball, Special Olympics, not to mention his therapies that he must get to. So be able to get him to these things to these different things he needs to do or wants to do, so he can remain active in the community, which is big for them because they're big in the community. They help out the community. And that's good for everybody. I mean, I know Teen Scene is helping out the community by doing this telethon and by everything else you've done. It's part of what they are doing, and I want to make sure that they are able to keep doing that. And then right now they cannot afford that. If they could, I know they would just do it themselves. But right now, this is what they need, and this is a need that I feel really compelled to. Not just because he's my nephew, but because they do so much already that I feel like they deserve this. They're very special to me. And I would, if I had someone else I knew that was really bad, if I could possibly do it and had time, would do it for someone else too.
Any donations would help.
Yes, and I've thanked Teen Scene, I know. I want to thank the Women Heritage Center for allowing you and the Teen Scene to put this together and to tape it here. It's a wonderful center full of wonderful women that have done wonderful things, which is, you know, people do all the wonderful things. I am so thankful that they are allowing us to do this here. We're privileged.
Welcome back to the Teen Scene.
Joining us now are Mr. and Mrs. Newcomb, Ignatius' grandparents.
Tell us what brought you here today.
We're trying to help raise funds for our grandson Ignatius for his parents to get a handicapped van so that Ignatius can go to all of his appointments. And of course he is involved in a lot of handicapped things like the Challengers, and there's a baseball team that he's involved with, and he goes bowling. And so it's hard for his mom and dad to lift him in and out of the wheelchair and into the van. And this way, with the handicap van, they can just roll the chair right into the van and strap it down, so it'd be much easier for them.
So how do you feel about Ignatius' condition?
Well, and we are very surprised at how far Ignatius has come. When they first brought him home, he is adopted, and they adopted him knowing that he had this condition and that we would have some challenges ahead of us. But he has done so much more than we've ever expected. He actually knows all his 50 states and can say them, and their capitals. His mom is homeschooling him. The cerebellum affects the motor skills, and that's where his problem comes with the walking and eating, and he has some challenges there, but he has come a long way. Now, the reason we have Ignatius is my daughter's first child was a stillborn. And a few months later, they decided that they wanted to adopt. And this lady wanted a loving Catholic family that would take care of her son because she could not take care of him with this handicap. So my son and daughter-in-law stepped forward and chose to raise Ignatius. And then really 9 months later, they were blessed with another son. So now they have both Ignatius and Marcellus.
We're so glad to be able to help with this.
Yeah, that was a lovely story.
So it must be great being the grandfather of such a special grandchild.
It is, and this amazing part about him is what's surprising is the eating issue is such because he can't chew. Everything he's got to eat is either like pudding or something like that because he just can't, he doesn't know how to chew. If you try to give him anything that's any kind of meat or something, he chokes.
We are very proud of our grandson and our daughter and son-in-law. They've done a great job helping Ignatius be where he is today.
We are going to take a break from the Teen Scene.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Teen Scene. Joining us now is Mandy Washington.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
So you're Ignatius' other aunt? Why don't you tell us more about this wonderful boy?
Yes, I'm Ignatius' other aunt, and he's a blessing to the whole family. I've been watching him grow, and my sister does a whole lot with him, and Tim as well. And I've watched him grow from not being able to make words to being able to make words and say sentences, and not being able to crawl and being able to crawl. And he's accomplished so much more than the doctors thought was possible. And it's truly a miracle and a blessing to all of us that he's in our family. And he inspires me as his aunt to strive for my best, because he puts his best effort forward with the help of my siblings, my sister and my brother-in-law.
What role do you play in Ignatius' development?
Well, before I got married, I would go there and visit and help my sister with him, with sometimes with the therapies, mostly with interacting with him, play. Sometimes I'd help with Marcellus just to, give her time with Ignatius so she could put more time in with them. I'm a little busy with 3 boys, well, 5 children of my own now, so I don't have the time to spend with them as much, but I still try to, keep Winnie supportive and keep up the braid, and I visit them when they come down, and try to make sure that they don't need my help with anything else that I can do with them around.
To be supportive is always really important.
Are your children really close with Ignatius too?
They try to be, the older children will help with them, because one's 19 and one's 14. But my 3 little ones are 3, 2, and 8 months, and the kind of, Ignatius, because he's in the wheelchair and they're still not used to it, so, but when he's playing, they'll interact with him. And Marcellus is good with helping that interaction and helping keep them calm so they don't get scared when he moves in his wheelchair. I have to tell you, one thing that really inspires me is Ignatius has been a fighter ever since they brought him home. I mean, he was so tiny that we have pictures of him in a dresser drawer, and he has fought all the way to get to the point where he is, and he keeps fighting. He just had some teeth pulled, and he did it without a problem, and he's just goes out there and fights to keep putting the doctors wrong, telling them, you might think I can only do this, but I'm going to go the extra mile, and I'm going to get that stuff done because I'm a boy, and I'm fine, and I'm a fighter.
So many of us take for granted all the simple things in life, but it's really inspiring to see such a young boy take control of his life.
You're right, it is. It is very inspiring, and I often tell people that I'm very inspired by my nephew, who has the strength to do all this, and if he has that strength to do this, then I can deal with my simple day-to-day life. Thank you.
We'll be right back, or not.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Watermelon, watermelon, watermelon.
See children smiling. How about you? Have a look at the Wow, wasn't that great? I think it's really great that some children can get a smile on their face. Be happy. So if you can smile, smile. When you're smiling, oh when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, just keep on laughing, 'cause sun will shine right through. But when you're crying, you bring down the rain, so stop that crying. Be happy again. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
So if you want to get involved with telethon, you got to work hard and row that boat, right, kids?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Yay! You know what the real song is? Throw the person overboard and listen to him scream.
Welcome back to Teen Scene.
Joining us now is the Ehlingers with their son Marcellus. So welcome, tell us more about your family.
Ignatius is 9, as I said earlier, and Marcellus is 8. They're 9 months apart. 9 months and 9 days exactly. And they play like a lot like normal boys would do, like to roughhouse with each other.
We have a lot of fights.
A close brother relationship.
Yes.
That's good.
So Marcellus, how do you feel about Ignatius's condition?
All right.
Anything else you would like to add?
He gets frustrated sometimes that Ignatius can't get up and chase him around the room or
That's understandable.
ride his bike around the block as fast as he can.
And I go as fast as Flash. He never catches up with me. But downhill is like going 100 miles. Downhill. I try to stop before I go into the street, so I put on brakes really hard. It's kind of hard to stop when you're on the rock. So, because when I'm on the rock, on the alleyway, there's rocks, and I stop and I twist and turn to try to fall off, but I used to fall off and get hurt. But I still do that, but I don't fall off anymore.
That's good.
But it's kind of hard.
So, Mrs. Winnie, could you tell us more about Ignatius's condition?
Well, he has cerebellar agenesis. He has no cerebellum, and the cerebellum controls fine motor, balance, and speech. So he's wheelchair bound. He can walk in his walker, but he doesn't have the balance to walk without assistance. His speech is limited. I can understand him 90% of the time, but people who aren't around him, every day have difficulty understanding him. His fine motor skills are limited. He goes to therapy every week for occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech twice a month at the school, and vision therapy once a month to help him overcome his lack of cerebellum.
And is this a rare condition?
It's not considered rare, but it's not common.
Okay.
That's the official terminology.
Okay.
Many places would consider cerebellar agenesis rare, but a lot of doctors wouldn't because they say it's not uncommon.
How do they diagnose it?
With Ignatius, when he was born, his head was small, so they took him for an MRI, which revealed no cerebellum and a small pons. The pons is the part that connects the brain to the brain stem. So he was diagnosed pretty much right away with cerebellar agenesis.
So has this been difficult for you?
I wouldn't consider it difficult. It's challenging, but Ignatius is a real blessing. He has so much to offer. So calling him handicapped is not really a great term in my opinion. Special needs is probably a better term. But he's, as has been mentioned before, he has come a long ways with speech and just his whole personality.
He seems like a great kid.
Yes, he's very great. We love him very much.
And we want to thank you all very much for participating. It's been wonderful for the teen scene to get involved.
So we're going to take a break now from the teen scene. Don't forget to call the number at the bottom of the screen.
Thanks. Okay. That's good.
We're here with Andy Catt from the Norris Automotive Group. He's helping us try to get a van for Ignatius, our grandson. We need a van that's handicap accessible so that my daughter can transport Ignatius back and forth. And we just want to thank Andy for bringing the van down for us today and for helping us out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I want to thank Norris Automotive Group for their generous use of their vehicle for this time.
We want to thank everybody for the day. It's been wonderful, but we especially want to thank Andy Catt, who brought the van down for us to see, and he is with the Norris Automotive Group. And I think I would like him to help tell us a little about how that handicap van accessible goes, how we do that.
Well, to begin with, when you come into the dealership and you pick out the van that you have, you can get either a side lift or you want to get a lift into the back of the truck, and then you give the arrangements to have it come out or taken out and have all that equipment installed. And that way it's to your, whatever your specifications, and they'll make it to you whatever you want. So they can take like the middle seat out so that if with a wheelchair you can have the lift come up, and then you can go right inside, and they have a place where you can lock the wheelchair down so it doesn't move, and everything can be taken care of. And they do a very nice job, and it's very good for the people, and it's easier for the people to have them.
Oh, that's great. That's just what we need, because it's hard for my daughter to lift that wheelchair in and out, and my grandson and put him in the car seat all so that's wonderful.
But they have, again, we would send it out, and again, it's the side lift, and then we just lift it up and bring it in, and that just folds into the, either folds in or just folds up, whichever way you want it done.
We spoke with dealership, Wayne's Automotive Group, and they, in Waynesboro, Virginia, they recommended for Ignatius's age to have a side entry versus a rear entry because it's less jostling feeling in the van.
Right. Again, I say they could put the side entry in for you, and the lift would come up, and then you could go into the van itself. And with the wheelchair, it would be locked down so that it doesn't move while you're in transit. Then you unlock it, put it down the lift, and then bring it out, bring it back to the ground again.
Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for bringing the van, allowing us to use it for the day. And do you have contact information that we can give to the audience?
Yes, we have Brian Marshall over at the dealership, or Brian Cook. You can contact them, and they can make the arrangements to have that and show you what is available and how it goes into the truck. Yeah, that way you can come down to the dealership and they can make arrangements to your specifications, the main thing, so that you're happy with it and that it's very functional.
And that is Norris Ford, if anybody's interested.
Norris Automotive Group.
Norris Automotive Group.
Yes, we sell Ford, Honda, Nissan, and Acura. So that's our group itself, and the family's been in business. We've been a Ford dealer for 97 years, so we've been around for a while.
Would you like to give us your location?
We are the Ford dealership and the Honda dealership is located on Merritt Boulevard, 900 block of Merritt Boulevard in Dundalk, and our Acura and Nissan store are on Route 40 West in Ellicott City. And yeah, both places would be happy to handle stuff for you, take care of it.
Okay, so we also would like to thank Helen Bentley for coming down and supporting us and getting us a car dealership. Jill Greenberg, who runs the Women's Heritage Center, here has been nice enough to let us have the show here. And of course, Loretta Gubernadas, who is our producer and director. And all the teen scene girls who have done, and gentlemen, who have done a wonderful job to help us. And Winnie and I and Tom and Tim and of course Ignatius are all grateful for your help. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Winnie Ehlinger. I'm Ignatius's mom, and I want to thank everyone for coming today and helping us try to raise funds for an accessible van for Ignatius. A lot of people are wondering why there are certain organizations that we haven't contacted. We have contacted a lot of organizations, and Ignatius is not eligible. I'll give you an example. The Virginia Department Brain Injury Fund only gives money to families who have a brain injury due to doctor or nurse negligence at birth. And that doesn't apply to Ignatius. He was born with a disability. It wasn't anyone's negligence, just the beautiful way that God made him. So this is, in a lot of places that we have contacted, he's not eligible for funds through them. And so we're trying to raise funds through the Ignatius Ehlinger Fund to get an accessible van to take him to all of his activities and appointments. And thank you all for helping.
We had such a great time talking to Ignatius's family.
It was really just a great day overall, and really just a great cause, and I was happy to be a part of it.
Thanks for watching the Teen Scene. I'm Heather Detweiler.
And I'm Cooper Carreva.
And we'll see you next time on the Teen Scene.